Afternoon, everybody, and I am extremely happy and delighted to have with me a second edition of PBF Showcase, Dr. Suborno Bose, who we very dearly call Subornota. This season of PBF Showcase will be a little different than what we were doing before. We'll try to keep a balance of both formal and informality here, and we'll ask questions which we have not asked before. So, delay, let me go and straight away welcome you, Shubhananda. And I'm very happy that you have said yes to be my first guest on this PBF Showcase. First question. So this interview is going to be about 3 segments. See, the first segment is little bit about career, activities, work life, etc. The second segment is about personal life, and the third one is a little bit of a rapid fire. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. So the first question is that what, according to you, what makes a good hospitality personality? I'm sure a lot of people are, willing to join this industry. How would you define a good personality for hospitality?
So you want to ask me what are the features that makes a good hospitality personality, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Or what are the factors, right? So I think it's quite simple, straightforward. Hospitality is a people business. Yeah. It's a people business. It's for the people, by the people, of the people. It's all about the people. Yeah. So you need to have people who loves people. It's about people loving people. It's not for people who are very introvert and all. So it's about people who loves life, who loves to talk, who likes people, who likes the warmth, who likes to smile a lot, who wants to exude that warmth and being hospitable. I think it's about people who are genuinely want to travel, make new friends, possibly love to eat and dine and wine. It's like a lifestyle. So those people are very successful as a hospitality professionals, or sometime now we have got a new term called hospitalitarian. Hospitalitarian is like a person who is a hospitality professional. I think it's about people business. So you need to be people centric. We need to be a people's man or a woman. And I think that is possibly the most important criteria of an hospitality professional to be successful. You need to be somebody who can exude that warmth in the room, can create that moments of wow for the other people. As Professor David Foskett very famously said, to be human is to be hospitable. To be human is to be hospitable. So if you are not hospitable, then you are possibly not a human being. So one of the oldest hospitality trait of humanity, or rather one of the oldest trait of humanity has been hospitality. If you remember, in the very, very old times, there used to be inns where there were no hotels, inns where the old, especially we have read a lot about the Roman Empire, even in India, people used to go and travel, and the traveler used to stay in the stranger's house. So that was the hospitality. So to be human is to be hospitable. So that I think is the most important criterion for a person to be successful in this industry.
Taking that forward, we already have a saying in India, Atithi Deva Bhava, right? So taking that forward, what is the future of hospitality career-wise in India in the next 5 to 10 years?
It's absolutely awesome, because the kind of the career opportunity that hospitality industry offers, I think it's the top of the service sector. Because we know that Indians are very good in service. Indians are very good in soft skill. Indians are very good in the service industry, whether it's about hotel, restaurant, hospitality, or whether it's about retail, it's a fashion, So anything that do with the service sector has to be connected with some kind of hospitality. And when we say hospitality industry, we necessarily don't talk about hotels or restaurant. Of course, they are very important segments, but also there are segments like airlines. There are segments like shipping, cruise lines. There are segments like amusement parks. There are places like the big malls, huge malls happening all over the country, even in the tier 2, tier 3 cities now. The people who are managing the malls. Yeah. Then there are healthcare, Hospital needs a lot of hospitality people, whether it's a food, whether it's about chef, it's about the PR, even going and talking with the guest or the guest client party. It's all about hospitality now. Hospital is no more just about health. It's about much more than that. So correct. I think if you take the entire story of hospitality, it's a huge industry. And so the getting good job, getting good promotion and a fast track promotion. I think we have seen people in 30s become the vice presidents and all, because the promotion is very fast. People can go up the ladder quite quickly. And I think it's a huge career, and especially for India, because India, the hospitality industry and is increasing very, very fast. If you see the hotels coming up, cafes coming up, the restaurants coming up, new airlines coming up. We have seen Bangalore has now gone from one airport to 2 airports to 3 airports now. So, so everywhere they need people and they need hospitality graduates.
And also that there are a lot of entrepreneurs which are coming up in this field. There were many of them, isn't it?
Yes. Entrepreneur has come heavily in hospitality, whether you come for the hotel industry, which is like, Oyo rooms, Tribo, Fab House, Fab rooms, and there are Signet. There are about at least 20 of these huge to medium to small hotel groups. Oyo, incidentally, is the number 2 in the world in terms of the number of rooms after Marriott. Yes. Then you have got food business, where there are people who are opening not just restaurant, but also they're opening cafes, they're opening tea joints, just like coffee shops. Now tea has become very popular, breaks like chai break and things like that. There are people who are opening food trucks, even in a place like Calcutta. We have got food trucks now every day parked in Newtown near the Central Mall. There are so much of entrepreneurial options here that I think no other industry offers. Bakery, right. The cloud kitchens, which I think during the COVID, yes, exactly. During COVID, it like almost mushroomed. Almost everyone opened a cloud kitchen in their own house or own garage. And I think even now, a lot of these cakes and the birthday cakes and the pastries and the celebration cakes are not bought from typical shops, but bought from maybe Swiggy or Zomato through the small entrepreneurs, and they are selling, or to your friends who are in your WhatsApp group. So I think very small to large, there has been a big spark here in the entrepreneurship, and the new ideas are coming, which is very good actually. A lot of new ideas are coming.
So I heard in one of your previous interviews you were mentioning that when you started IIHM many moons back, you had about 30 students in the first batch, right? And now you have chapters across India, you have chapters outside India. Over the period of time, are you seeing a change in the profile of students who are coming? My question is about mainly people want to become doctors and engineers in our country. Are you seeing some amount of these people who could have taken up engineering or science are also deviating into a career like this?
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, when we started, it was like playing against the wind, actually. because, as you very rightly said, people wanted that top 5 career, whether it's engineering or doctor or lawyer or a CA or
Yes.
possibly somebody like MBA. So there are 4, 5, 6, 7 careers, and very stereotyped kind of thing. Yeah, maybe even economics, and you become an IAS officer. That's a big career for the Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh belt to become an IAS, civil service, UPSC. Yeah, so that was like kind of very stereotyped, very kind of. But then I think all these things changed with the economic liberalization. I think with the economic liberalization, we have seen the huge capital has entered the service sector, especially the hospitality sector. I mean, 30 years back in India, we had only 4, 5 hotel chains. It was a Taj, Oberoi, a little bit of ITC, yes, and little bit of maybe 1 or 2 Hyatt Regency. But now we have got all the major hotel chains in the world, all the major restaurant chains in the world, whether it's a McDonald's or Starbucks, or it's about Burger Kings, or it's about Subway or Taco Bells, or you just name it. They are all there. Even your the tea, all the top tea companies as well are already here. TWG and everything else. So the thing is that there has been a huge spot in the economic growth of India, and service industry have really got that boost. I think what has also happened is that career-wise, people have understood by the success of the people who join the hospitality trade that it's a good industry to join, it's a good career to join. I remember that there are times when it used to be like, we used to get students, but it would come as a rebound. Okay, I haven't gotten in engineering, I haven't got in medicine, I have got near. So now what to do? Something to do. Let's do hotel management. So that was a kind of, a mindset. Now people want to become a chef. People want to become Heston Blumenthal. They want to become Gagan Anand or a Sanjeev Kapoor or someone, who wants to be in a page 3 or the cover page, earning a few lakhs per day, that kind of a lifestyle, So obviously it's been a sea change from what it was even 20 years back, not even 30, 20 years back to what it is now. And I think it's going to be only increase in hugely, because Indian hospitality graduates are not just working in India, they're working all over the world. We have to understand that there are a lot of exports happening in terms of the human capital. So if you go to USA, you go to Canada, you go to UK, you go to France. Recently, 620 of my students was in a FIFA Qatar World Cup. So everywhere the Indian graduates are recruited, and they are given the first choice because they are good, hardworking. They have got a good attitude. They have got hospitality in their name. I think many reasons why hospitality have succeeded, but it's also if you get into a shipping cruise line, and if you are in a luxury cruise line, and you won't surprise if you find 70% of the staff are Indian, and out of that, another 70% are from Goa. So whether it's a chef or a barman or the guy who is serving you, PR manager, will find everybody from either India or Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. So that's the kind of, people have been able to export the manpower over the world. Talk about Middle East. If you go to places like UAE or Qatar, we'll see all Indians are working in all kinds of restaurants, not just Indian restaurant, Japanese restaurant, Italian restaurants. The people who are working are all from India. So
Yes.
I think that is one of the reasons why it really got such a big spot in the career-wise. I believe a lot of success stories have resulted in the people listening to that and then deciding to go for hospitality.
The last question on this professional part of the thing. Now, today's world, post-COVID primarily, we are talking, suddenly we are realizing the importance of work-life balance, mental health, those kind of things. In a hospitality industry where primarily, if I'm talking about hotels, airlines, etc., where there is the working hours may be different, would be difficult. Given that situation, how do you see the work-life balance and mental health being taken care of by major groups or organizations for their employees?
Very good question. There are certain professions which demands a different kind of a life, and so we call it hospitality is not a life; it's a lifestyle. I mean, whether it's about being a chef cooking on the 31st of December when everybody is enjoying, or working in odd hours, or whether it's a pilot who is flying the plane at the same time when the entire world is enjoying a New Year Eve, or whether it's a guy working in an army trying to protect the motherland in the borders, or whether it's a policeman on the field who is trying to get the law and order irrespective of whether it's a Christmas Eve or a Holi. So the professional requirements, or the doctor for that matter, who is handling maybe heart attacks and the pregnancy things. There are professionals which demands certain kinds of lifestyle which are not normal 9 to 6 or 9 to 7 kind of thing, and that is a professional demand, professional requirement, and you can't come out of it. Having said that, I think it's a lot of passion, lot of energy, lot of love for what you are doing. When a chef is creating something new, it doesn't matter what time of the day he's working. He's so passionate, he will create that food and then only he will rest. I think same happens in a lot of other professions. Work-life balance, yes. The work-life balance factor is less in hospitality as compared with a lot of so-called jobs in the office. But I have seen entrepreneurs from all over the country and the world actually in different field. I think entrepreneurs' life is even worse. It's like they have absolutely no work-life balance. Okay, they sometimes take a leave for maybe 3 days to go with a family, but there is no work-life balance. They get up at 6 in the morning, sleep at 1 in the night, and they're working throughout. There is no balance, it's only imbalance. But then that is a part of their profession that they have chosen of their own, consciously, knowing that I won't be able to do so much of work-life balance. But things are now getting better, especially in hospitality. I know the hotel chains like Hyatt Regency, they used to have 5 or 6 days a week. Now there are 6 holidays, 6 off in a month. So same for Taj as well. And some hotel is also doing 5 days a week now. So things are definitely getting better. But yes, odd hours, night shift, working very hard during the festivals and during the time when people will spend money. These things, I think, cannot be avoided.
Okay, great. Awesome. So let me now ask you some personal questions. I'm sure, everybody would love to know a bit more about you as a human person. My first question, what kind of book do you read and what is the last book that you read?
So, I used to read a lot of books actually at one point of time, but I think over the last 5 years and during COVID, I started reading again. And last few years after COVID has been so demanding. I don't remember reading a book completely, but recently I picked up an absolutely fascinating book by Chitrita Banerjee, who is a very famous chef, Bengali chef. Chitrita Banerjee, she must be quite senior now, must be 80 now. She lives in US now, but her recipes on Bengali food, I'm very fond of food as a hobby. I also cook as a hobby chef. I mean, it's absolutely awesome recipe, totally different. The way she explains things like postobata diye fish, with this things which are not really happen every day, where a little bit of tweaking. So I am right now in the middle of that book on the Bengali cuisine, and also two books I bought on the festivals of Bengal, and what all you eat during the festival. It's not about only Durga Puja. It's also about
Baro
things
Mashe
like,
Tero
the
Parbon.
motto. Exactly, exactly. Baro Mashe, Baro Parbon, Tero Parbon, that's kind of thing. So she wrote exceedingly well. So these are two small booklet, not very fat books. I'm really enjoying the book. I can relate, and I'm sure given a break, I will cook some of those in my home. So yeah, so the other book which I was reading is just next to me. So it's quite interesting. I still feel it's a book on etiquette, actually, which possibly every 21-year-old should read. But then I think everyone should read. It's not. Its book is called As a Gentleman Would Say. So it's a book on etiquette, which says responses to life's importance and sometimes awkward situation. So how do you actually get yourself, and how do you behave yourself? What's your personal etiquette? Not as a hotelier or as in hospitality, but as a man, as a human being. Yeah. It's not that you have to accept everything that's written in the book, but it gives you a fantastic insight about how a gentleman reacts in awkward situations, not generally in a general situation. Somebody maybe sitting in an airport next to you, waiting for the flight, and is shouting at the top of the voice on the mobile phone,
Right.
or doing a video call, and there is no other seat. So how do you react? Whether you go out of that place and stand somewhere, or you say something nicely, or you look at him rudely, give him dirty looks. So how do you handle this kind of situation? So very interesting.
Yeah, that book really sounds good. Yeah, I need to read
Yes.
that. Though I'm not a gentleman, I need to read that. Okay, so the
Yes.
second question is, what is your fitness routine? Because I know you are superbly fit and you eat very consciously. You have your own chef, and stuff like that. So what is your fitness routine to stay in shape year after year?
I think we all need to be in good shape, and I think again, COVID has been a great kind of educator in that. I mean, we have learned so much from COVID, more than for anybody, and especially I'll tell for entrepreneurs who are on the go. Irrespective of how old are you, or irrespective of what are the other commitments, and getting up in the morning, the late night flights, late night departure, late night arrivals, and getting up next morning at 6:30 again because you have to go out at 8:30 meetings, and you can't say no to it. So the only way to be on the trot and be successful is to look after yourself. I think being fit is very important. Being fit doesn't mean that you need to be a fanatic about fitness. I don't think I'm a fanatic, but yes, I do fitness almost 5 days a week at least, if not more. And the day I missed it because I've got a morning flight and things like that, I try to cover it up by walking as much as I do. I remember just the other day I was in Delhi airport, and it was a morning flight. I decided to take the carpet walk, not the travelator, because I know I missed my fitness regime in the morning. So when you are walking on the carpet, is actually walking.
Yeah.
Walking on travelator is not a walking. I mean, of course it's walking, but it's not a walking. You know what I mean? So I was in almost last gate Vistara. So I took all the way. I walked in quite a brisk pace through the carpet. I haven't taken the travelator. Sometimes I take the stairs, even in my office or in airport, where there is a choice between an escalator and the stairs. I take the stairs, not the escalator. So small things actually are important, which has now become a part of my thing. So I kind of do that. Of course, if you are carrying a heavy luggage, you can't take on stairs, but generally with a handbag, you can, and not difficult. And also, I think the food is very important. I think equally important to fitness is food. I strongly believe that we should all have good food, but small quantity. I'm in the food industry, so I love good food. I want to create good food. I love people having good food and pay a lot of money for it. So, so the thing is that the body don't need so much of the food as we think they need. So the body which is there is possibly happy with the X quantity of food, but possibly we eat X plus Y, which is not necessary. So I think food is very important. We should try to avoid junk food. We should try to avoid. By avoiding, I don't mean that you don't need to leave it for your life, but try to have less. I think oily food, spicy food. When I travel, I always go for little Oriental food instead of Indian food. Although I love Indian food, but I always travel. I have Oriental food because that's like can't go wrong with that. And possibly a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetarian, a lot of vegetable, and no sweets. Absolutely. And yeah, a lot of tea. I mean, for me, tea is more important than coffee. Yeah. I'm not a coffee guy. Maybe one coffee a day is more than enough. But a lot of tea, especially green tea and all that exotic tea that you also do, Rushmita. And tea, I'm a tea guy. So I'm sure.
I have seen your collection of tea. Yes.
Yes, I love tea. I love to offer good tea to my guests, So that's very, very important actually.
So now we are going to do a quick rapid fire.
Yeah.
These are all very easy questions, so I don't think you have to think at all. You can just quickly answer.
Sure. No problem.
My first question is wine or scotch?
Oh, both.
Okay. Kolkata or Bangalore? I know you love Bangalore, but Kolkata or Bangalore? Which one you prefer?
No, Kolkata any day because it's such a cooler city.
Cooler city, okay.
Yeah.
Not weather-wise, but otherwise, yes. Unicorn or solopreneur? Because there are a lot of solopreneur in PBF.
Yeah. So I had always been solo. But obviously, a couple of things which right now I'm doing with some partners. So I think this is not a choice. It all depends what you are doing. I think solopreneur is the answer. But again, having said that, there are certain projects right now I'm doing with a couple of other people and which are really fun.
Favorite actor of all time? Who is your favorite actor of all time?
Many actually. My all-time favorite is Sean Connery. And it's quite sad. Sean Connery and me, we received the honorary doctorate from Edinburgh University in the same event, in the same function together.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that must have been really great.
And sad. So all three of us received the honorary doctorate in the same event. So it was lovely to interact with Sir Sean and to talk with him, to have a lot of, he's a very humorous guy. He's got a huge sense of humor. And we signed in the same book actually. Sean Connery definitely is top of my list. Tom Cruise, always loved him. Shah Rukh Khan.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Shah Rukh Khan is my favorite as well. Great, awesome.
Last
question of the evening. A song or a quote that sums up your life?
Yeah, when I was doing Sushmita, my CA, and CA is quite a treacherous course. Actually, everybody knows who have done and who have not done. And you need a lot of inspiration apart from just studying and, crying, I'm not good, not getting into this, etc. So I had one song from Kishore Kumar, who is my all-time favorite. And still that song has been an inspiration in my life. It's not that I like it. It's been an inspiration. And when I was 21, I passed CA when I was 22 and a half. I must have listened that song a billion times. Ruk jana nahi, tu kahi har ke.
Okay, wonderful. Ruk jana nahi, tu kahi har ke. I think that absolutely sums up the way you look at life. Thank you so much. I had so much fun talking to you. I hope you also had
Same here.
fun. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rishmita. Thank you. Lovely to speak to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Namaskar. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.